Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to show you how I will be cooking in my beautiful by Drew 12-piece ceramic non-stick cookware set. I unboxed it a couple of weeks ago and I am still absolutely loving it. So I decided to show you guys how I use it and how well it works. Today I'm going to be using the Dutch oven and the saute pan. There's the Dutch oven and here is the saute pan. These are my two favorite pieces in the collection actually, so I thought it would be best to show you how I use these two. I already had my meal prepped and ready to go. There's my cut and seasoned chicken breast that I'll be cooking, and also I had some chopped white, just regular chopped white cabbage that I'm gonna add some kale to, and I'm also going to add some, there it is, I have it already chopped and ready. And I'm also going to add some green and Vidalia onions to it. I'm going to use some butter and also some olive oil that I didn't picture here. I forgot to show the olive oil, but I'm going to use that. And there's my chopped kale. So I'm basically going to just make my sauteed chicken and cabbage and kale meal. It's a very easy meal, but I thought it would be a great one to show how I use the cookware. So first things first, I just went ahead and melted some butter in the Dutch oven and melted some more butter, about a tablespoon each in the Dutch oven and in the saute pan. But guys, let me just go ahead and say disclaimer, this is not a cooking video. This is just me showing you guys how I use my beautiful by Drew cookware. And as you can see, oh my gosh guys, I had to switch out the cooking utensil because I forgot that you're not supposed to put anything metal in the cookware. It'll scratch it. So as you can see, I quickly switched to the silicone utensils. And once the butter was melted to the consistency that I wanted it to melt to, I just went ahead and added my seasoned chopped cabbage and my seasoned chicken breast that I have cut to my desired slices. Or are they sliced to my desired pieces, serving sizes, or should I say. And as you can see, they were cooking quite nicely in the pan. They were cooking quite nicely with the butter. And into my cabbage, into the Dutch oven, I added a little bit of olive oil and I added my seasonings. And so far so good. It was cooking really nicely. I think for the cabbage, the chopped cabbage, I just let it cook for about 7 to 8 minutes and just kind of turned it over simultaneously. Just kept turning it so that it wouldn't burn or scorch. And once the chicken was cooked to the desirability on one side, I just turned it over and it looks really good. As you can see, the beautiful by Drew, it heats up really quickly. It heats up quicker than my last cookware set that I had, and but once I turned the heat down just a bit, it was still cooking quite nicely, so I was happy with that. I just, as long as you monitor your heat settings, it'll be fine. And I noticed kind of the same with the Dutch oven. It was cooking so quickly because it heated up faster than I was used to. I'm trying to think, the last cookware that I had, as you can see, the cabbage got a little singed right there. It got a little brown on that spot. So I just went ahead and turned the heat setting down on the cabbage too. But I believe I had Martha Stewart cookware before and it didn't heat up as quickly as this one, the beautiful by Drew. But once the cabbage cooked down to the amount that I wanted it to cook down to, I just added some kale on top, the chopped kale. And here it is, cooked down a little bit. This isn't a cooking video, guys, so don't expect me to be giving you guys measurements and amounts. This isn't a cooking video. This is just me showing you how I cook with my beautiful by Drew, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it thus far. So yeah, once the cabbage and kale cooked down to the right amount, I just put the lid on and kind of let it stay warm, and then I put the lid on the chicken. And I wanted to test out the heat inside of the oven. So I put it in the oven on about 350 for about 7 minutes to kind of let the chicken cook internally. Make sure it was thoroughly cooked internally, and to just kind of test out the heat in the oven and see what it was like. But so far so good. And at that point, all I had to do was wait. So once the 7 minutes was up, I was ready to see what that chicken was looking like, you guys. I was so ready, but at the same time was kind of nervous because this was my first time doing the chicken breast in the saute pan. But you guys ready to see? Ooh, here it goes. And look at that. Oh my gosh, it looked so amazing. I was so happy. I was so pleased. Look at all of those juices. And I just kind of let the chicken sit for a while so that it wouldn't dry out when I sliced it. And here is the cabbage and kale looking absolutely amazing in that Dutch oven. I was so excited, you guys, and it was time for me to plate it and show you guys what the chicken looked like. This is just a very simple meal. These are the types of meals that I cook during the week when I'm trying to cook something fast but still healthy. There it is, the cabbage and kale looking amazing. There it is, the chicken looking amazing, looking so perfectly seasoned. And even though that cabbage and kale didn't look seasoned, guys, trust me, it's seasoned, okay? There's the chicken sliced, just to show you guys that it looks so super good. It cooked nicely. It's all the way done. It was still juicy and tender. I loved it. And then all that was left for me to show you was how easy it was to clean up. It was so super easy to clean up. There's the saute pan with all of the juices from the chicken, the lid, and there's the lid from the Dutch oven. It didn't really get that messy. The lids didn't get that messy. There's the Dutch oven that I'm getting ready to wash. Normally when I do dishes, I use a paper towel to do my dishes because I don't like food residue in my sponges or in my dish towels. But just to show you guys how easy it was to clean the Beautiful by Drew cookware, I was like, I'll go ahead and use a towel and I'll use a sponge. Normally I go in with the paper towel to get the grease and residue and food and residue and things like that out, and then I go in with my sponge or a towel. But just to show you guys how easy it was to clean, I went ahead and used the towel in the beginning, and then I moved on to the sponge. And afterwards I just used the paper towel to dry it. But there it is. I've used it several times, and it looks really good. Still, it looks amazing, pristine, and it was super easy to clean. There I am, just kind of getting ready to use the sponge. Are you guys like me? Do you overuse the soap? This dish soap? I feel like we use an excessive amount of dish soap, but I guess that's just part of wanting things to be clean. But I guess one thing about it, you can't say that it's not clean. I'm cleaning the handle. I'm just trying to clean it very thoroughly, and at the same time showing you guys how easy it is to clean. At the same time, there's the lid for the saucepan, I think, and it's just still looking so good. I've used it several times, like I said before, and it still looks very pristine. It still looks very aesthetically pleasing. I do know that over time, the more that you use the cookware, the more that I use the cookware, it's gonna get, stained probably, and it's gonna probably, I hate to say, probably gonna get, scratched, or it's probably gonna get scorched from the cooking. But I mean, that's just, part of cooking. That's just part of life. So that's to be expected. But so far, it's holding up really well. So far, it still looks amazing. There I am cleaning the Dutch oven, and as you can see, it looks really good. I've tried to be careful not to use any metal utensils in it, and oh gosh, I think that's the biggest challenge thus far about cooking with my new cookware, is just to remember to always use silicone or wooden utensils. so as not to scratch it. And I think that was a huge mistake that I made in using my old cookware. Like I said once before, I think I had I didn't have an entire set from Martha Stewart cookware, but I had a couple of pieces that I thought were very cute and very match my kitchen, but they didn't end up holding up very well. They didn't end up lasting very well, and I wasn't happy with the way they they weren't very durable. They weren't very sturdy. I think one of the pieces, even I lost the handle came off, and that was kind of what I talked about in my last video, which is why I ended up going ahead and purchasing the Beautiful by Drew. I already loved it. I already had seen videos of it on YouTube, and I wanted to try it out. But once my last cookware set lost the handle, I was like, okay, this is it. I'm done. I'm going to get that Beautiful by Drew. But sorry for the ramble, guys. But yeah, as you can see, it's still looking so pristine. There are no stains. There is no scorching yet. I've only used dish soap and warm water and a dish towel and a sponge to clean it. And I've only used either a larger dish towel or paper towels to dry it. And it's still in very pristine condition. As you can see, there's the saute pan. I feel like I keep mistaking the saute pan for the saucepan. But I don't use the saucepan often. I use the saute pan a lot. I haven't used the fryers a whole lot. I do use them because I love the set. I do love the set. But the main pieces that I use are the Dutch oven and the saute pan. So I wanted to show you guys them today. And maybe I'll do a video of me using the fryers and the saucepan maybe. But so far so good. Everything looks clean. It's still very white. The color that I got was white icing. I forget what the other colors were, but my kitchen is very dark, so I try to buy white cookware to kind of balance it out. There was the lid, looking so good, still looking very clean. The hardware is still holding up. And another thing that I really loved about the lids were the steam release holes that they have at the top. Normally, for you old school cookers, you guys know that when we want to kind of release that steam, we have to tilt the lid. Or there's some type of knob that you have to twist at the top to release the steam, and you don't have to do that with these. They already have the steam release holes at the top, so that was perfect for the my cabbage and kale that I love to make. I'm just a huge cabbage and kale girl. But anyway, there it is again, the saute pan, looking absolutely amazing after using it. Oh, and I had to do a double take and show you guys the side because there were no stains, there was no scorching, any of that. It still looks perfect. So yes, it's worth every penny, every red cent. There's the Dutch oven lid looking amazing, still looking amazing on the inside. But keep in mind, it's very hard to remember not to use the metal utensils. So I would say, in order to keep it looking good, just remember that. And there it is, guys. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.